All right, so here's a question for the dog. So it's about the living situation. So what's the living situation between Jackal Goldkick and the dog? Are you guys roommates and such? And how does he make up for living with Jackal Goldkick? Does he like pay rent? Or how does he make up for living with him? Does he give him like video games or good YouTube videos? What happens there? And do you make him live out in the cold? Does he just live on the property? Is he like freezing to death in this winter Michigan weather?
It's the dog, the creepypasta king. And as regards to that, I definitely bring some money in. I made that one video talking about how I make money off of creepypasta narrators and fighting creepypastas and being the creepypasta king. He has his ways of getting money. I would say the dog sometimes can live with Jacko, but he's kind of a free roam guy. He goes where he wants, stays where he wants. But yeah, sometimes he can live with Jackal. And sometimes he could pitch in if he's living with him, making money off creepypasta narrators and doing his thing as the creepypasta king. Sometimes I play games. I'll use his consoles. Maybe we play split screen sometime. One time he had me do a feature on one of his YouTube associates as well by the name of Druid. I did a review with him. So yeah, I would say the dog, I'm a free roam kind of guy, but sometimes I live with Jackal. We play split screen games, and I have ways of getting money, especially one of them being making money off creepypasta narrators. And that could be ways of pitching in.
Oh, didn't see you there. Well, howdy, howdy, folks. This is Acidic Roots. I'm here on a Frenchie talent video, and I figured I'd stop by. So why don't we just get right to it, shake hands, unless you're a germaphobe, and then we can kind of do like a virtual elbow bump, something like that. But I'm here to talk about some interesting stuff, one of which is just Jackal Goldkick and his kind of pseudo roommate, the dog. So you heard what they said. The dog kind of is in the area. He's kind of in Jackal Goldkick's orbit, and that's kind of the situation. Frenchie, that's kind of how Frenchie is now with me. I mean, I still hang out with him time to time, but he's mostly just in my orbit. He does his own thing, and like, he's just kind of, he's in the proximity, and that's kind of the thing. It's kind of like I would say if Jackal Goldkick's like the Earth, the dog is like the moon or something like that. But the dog's actually a pretty powerful fellow. He's a tough cookie, so I would have to say he might be like a larger moon. The moon is kind of small. It's like an eighth of the size of Earth or something like that. So it's just kind of, you get the concept here. Frenchie, he actually has more subscribers than I do. So it kind of makes sense that you would kind of see me here. I could use his help possibly more than Frenchie needs mine. But then, obviously I got Frenchie a job back at Burger World and stuff like that. So it's kind of half and half. But yeah, I would say Jackal Goldkick, has the added benefit of the dog being in the proximity. He mentioned that they play split screen and co-op games together and that type of stuff. Maybe they played a couple rounds. I wonder who can kick whose ass at Mortal Kombat and Tekken and those type games. The dog seems like a Yoshimitsu type player or something like that. Maybe he enjoys those characters. But yeah, that's just kind of the concept. Um, I would look after it. Really looking back on living with Frenchie, I didn't really compete with him in too many games. We knew within that context. Now I would play online with him. We definitely played, like, you've seen videos on my channel of like playing Halo and stuff. But just to kind of say with Cobalt and Frenchie and those type fellows. But yeah, I would have to say it's interesting to kind of hear the added scenario from Jackal Goldkick about the dog being in his orbit. And I kind of feel like it's like, yeah, I need a new roommate. I'm not going to lie. It'd be interesting. Under the correct requisition, it wouldn't be such a terrible thing for the dog to become my roommate. That would be interesting to kind of see how that would work. Even if he were to visit this Missouri area and just kind of, I think there'd be a lot of folks who would kind of feel his presence and his aura, and they'd be like, who the hell is that? That type stuff is what they did with Frenchie a few years ago. Everyone was freaked out by Frenchie. He barely kept his job at Burger World because the women were all scared of him. But you get the idea here.